Hi Divyanshu. Hi Rashi. We are waiting for a few more people to join and then we will start today's session. Thank you for joining. Hi Roli. Thanks for joining. Hello Vedi. Hi Wrinkle. Thank you so much for joining. We are just waiting for few more people to join in and then we'll start today's conversation. So, before we start today's conversation, guys, let me brief you all a little bit. I am Shivani and I am host for today's conversation. I'm an architect by my education, but by heart I am a mental health enthusiast. And this initiative of conversations that matter is done by our group, which is making the invisible visible. We are a group of 6 individuals highly passionate about making mental health concerns visible in the society, and that is how this whole initiative of conversations that matter came into picture. Hi Aditya, hi Sameer, hi Lokesh, hi Sid. Thank you guys for joining. So, why this session is very important? Why conversations are very important? We often talk to one another, but the question is, do we really talk to each other? What lies deep in our heart? Do we really talk about the matters which trouble us? Are we so open and transparent to each other? Can we talk to each other without judgments? Can we really listen to each other? And can we have these conversations around what really matter in our life? And that is why we come up with conversations that matter. And I am very excited that today we have an architect and also a mental health enthusiast, Rashi Jain, with us. She is one of the group members and she is completely passionate about creating empathy and providing a safe space in the society. So I would like Rashi to join with me here and start the talk, which is central around self-esteem. So I'm just waiting for Rashi to join in with me. Hi Rashi.
Hello, Shivani. Can you hear
Thank
me
you.
properly?
Yeah. Am I audible to
Yeah,
all the
you're.
viewers?
Yes. Hi,
Right.
everyone.
Okay. So guys, this is Rashi. She is our guest for today. And as I was saying, that Rashi is highly driven towards creating a safe space for people to speak. And she wants to create an environment where people can come together and they can talk. And I think this idea itself is very exciting because we don't get that space. Neither we get it at our home or we get it in schools or universities. And just having that space is very important. And so I welcome you, Rashi. And for our viewers, I would like to brief you that today's conversation is around this theme, which Rashi, in one of the conversations with me, told me that what the world thinks about me that is not me. And that was a very powerful statement that came across. And so I want to start this with this whole idea with you, Rashi, that what motivated you to come on this platform and talk about yourself and something which is so personal in your life?
Okay, so let me start with that really I'm feeling very nervous at the moment, but because
Don't be.
because we're not so used to share our personal experiences on a social media platform. So this is the
Right,
first time that I'm taking the step to speak about my personal experience. So the motivation was that when I was in that phase, I have gone through a lot of struggles in my life when I was having low self-esteem, low self-confidence. And now when I'm over it, I see many people going through the same phase, going through the same similar line, and I see their struggle of what they're facing. And
right,
when I
right,
was, and when that was going on, that phase of my life was there. I never had anyone to actually, I never had a platform where I could just express myself of how
right.
I'm feeling, what I'm feeling. So this motivated me to start this initiative also with all you guys, which is breaking the stigma around mental health, and also this, like particularly taking this topic to speak about today.
Right, right, right. Okay, thank you, Rashi. And as you said that you've struggled a lot as a child and while you were growing up. So, what was it that you were struggling with?
So it was a childhood experience that I want to share. So when I was in fifth standard or sixth standard, I don't know, I just got ill, and in that phase, I lost tremendous amount of weight, and I like my skin tone, my color was very dark because I fell ill, and nobody was able to diagnose that what has happened, how it has happened. But okay, then after that I recovered, but my weight, I was not able to put on weight, and even my skin tone was not improving.
Right,
Yeah, so then what happened is, with that, I was living with that myself, and I could
right,
see people in my extended family, in the surrounding, talking
right,
about my skin tone, talking about my color, talking about my appearance every now and then, making
right.
comments like, what will happen to her? How will she get married? I mean, a kid of around fifth standard, where is this point coming? Like, it is
Yeah,
like 20 years from now, but and also ignoring because of my experiences. So, and
exactly.
people never say in front of your face, but as a kid, you hear everything that is going around you. And when they
Right.
talk about your appearance, it actually affects you in a very negative manner.
Right, right. So Rashi, was this comment that they largely gave out, uh, in terms of comparing your skin color with some other skin color that they considered as a, a, a sign of beauty, or they considered as a color which should have been there? What was the comparison like?
So, in our society, and I think so in many societies around the world, this skin tone is really a taboo of how beautiful a person is. So the
Right,
fair complexion is considered to be very beautiful, and the dark tone complexion is considered to be somewhat ugly. And even people treat you in that manner, that the people who are fair in color complexion, they're more beautiful, they're more able, and the people who are having dark color complexions are like they are not worthy, or they are somewhat less. So there's a complete comparison that society does, and
right,
that actually affects a person's well-being a lot, and also
right.
it just curtails your confidence, because when you are a child you don't know what are the concepts of beauty, what beautiful means actually, what ugly means.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. I mean, as a kid, it must have been very difficult because being very new to this whole idea of marriage and also beauty and of getting compared with other people and other kids based on your color must have been very difficult on your part.
Yeah.
So,
So
Yeah.
I'll even tell you that when I was experiencing it. I was so I became so introvert that I did not like to go into the public. I didn't like to face
Right.
people, and I used to self doubt a lot about myself. I used to stand in
Right.
the mirror and look for actually hours and question
Right.
myself. That, okay, what is wrong with me? What's
Right.
happening?
Right.
And because you're a kid,
Right.
you're not aware of the knowledge, and you don't have that much understanding. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So, for the people who have joined just now, uh, we have Rashi with us today, and we are having a conversation about self-esteem and the color discrimination that Rashi has subjected to since her childhood. Uh, I want to tell all the viewers that if you guys have any questions from Rashi or any suggestions or anything that you want to ask about, kindly put it in the comment box below. And yeah, so here we were talking about Rashi and her journey in this discrimination that she has faced. So, Rashi, would you like to tell us more about what was it that you felt in that process, and what were the feelings, and also what were the things which were with it, right? Like the discrimination is one thing, but what was it which was attached to it, which came to you and it became like a struggle of a life?
So when you are listening to all those things, what people think about you
Right.
makes you actually attain a very low self-esteem. It curtails your self-confidence and you feel very bad about yourself. You start feeling negative about yourself. You start feeling that you are not worth. And that worthiness actually is something that, and when a person feels that he or she is not good for anything, or you are in that mode of life, you're victimizing yourself on the perception of others of you.
Right. 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 Yeah.
And it becomes, and even when the situation, I mean, the reason that has now is not there and was not there after a brief amount of time, but that feeling is there because you're not able to discriminate that what has happened or how it has happened. So the situation changed, but the feeling is still there because it has been developed in an amount of time. So it's
Right.
not very easy to come out of that, but yeah, one can. Yeah.
Exactly. Like I can totally relate with you, Rashi, by you saying that it's very difficult because I will also tell you one story from my life, and this whole idea of comparison, and especially based on someone's body type and someone's color, has been so much into our families. Uh, in my family especially, I have been always compared with my sister, and that too especially on color. So I'll tell you that I'm the only person in my family who has a brown to dark skin tone, and rest other people, all of them in my family, they are all fair skinned. And uh, it feels as if you're not a part of them. It
Yeah.
feels as if they look at you very differently, and the whole agenda of their life becomes to make you fair. So they'll try out all the Ayurvedic things, they'll try out all the cosmetics, they'll try out everything possible to make you fair. And I think this thing has disturbed me a lot as well, because like you said, public appearance becomes very difficult for me. Appearing in family functions became very difficult because too much foundation on my face would not really match with my body, and very less foundation on my face will really not match the expectations of the family members. So I can totally understand this kind of situation, and I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of girls and boys must have faced this kind of discrimination. So, Rashi, when you were facing this, was there somebody in your childhood that you could talk to about this? Any family member or any friend that was there for you to listen?
So initially, when this was all going on, Shivani, I wasn't able to figure out that what is wrong with me or what is happening with me. So when
Right,
you are in that situation, you don't know whom to approach, where to go, because
right,
everything around you seems normal. Like people around you seems normal. You just feel that something is just wrong with me. Everything else is perfect. Only something is wrong with me. But
right,
when I grew up and when I moved out of my hometown, I went outside. So yeah, I had met good friends. I had met some very good people whom actually I actually talked about how I felt and how that whole phase has affected my personality, my development. So I was able
right,
to talk, and I also received some kind of help. But I
right,
would like to point out one more very important thing is that when you open up your raw feelings in front of someone, so the other people know your weakness. So when they know your weakness and when they are having some kind of issue with you or some kind of what I say, some kind of argument with you, they can use it on yourself, on you
yeah,
actually. So they can
right,
actually pinpoint on that exact part which is a little bit shaky in your personality, and they can use it even to harm you. So I would
right,
actually like to like I would say that you should you should always be very mindful while opening up your feelings in front of someone. And
okay,
it's not like that you can talk about it in front of anyone, because you
right,
don't even know that what the other person is thinking for you. Is the other
right,
person just want to takes advantage of you? And also
right,
one more point that happens is when the entire world is talking about on your personality, then a person who is appreciating you or just showing some concern, you tend to trust that person very easily. You
yeah,
feel this is the only savior I have in my life. This is the
right,
person who will care for me, who will love me, who will take out me from this thing, and who will make me feel worthy. But obviously, it's not the case.
yeah.
That person,
I think, yeah, you highlighting two very important aspects of being vulnerable, and I think vulnerable by with being vulnerable, there comes a sense of what are you showing and how much is it allowed to show. And with that, before we go on with this, I think there's a question coming up, and I want to take it up. The question is by Lokesh. Hi, Lokesh, and thank you for asking the question. He is asking us that how did both of you react to these situations? Yes. So Rashi, would you like to go first?
yeah. So earlier, Lokesh, I would say I didn't had an answer for how to react. It was just that I used to like go away from the people who are in front of me or just be alone all the time. But how to react now is that I know that I have to build up my self-esteem and confidence to a level that these all things, which is I think so is bullshit, doesn't affect me anymore in any situation. So it
Right.
happens with time with the self-work that you do on a brief amount of time on yourself. But initially, if a person is going through low self-esteem or low self-confidence, doesn't know how to react to this. So it is
Right.
just you isolate yourself from other people.
Right. Right. Okay. And location, my case, I think I am still, I would say that I buy, like, I kind of, buy their idea of my complexion being not a very good complexion. And it took me really lot of time before I understood the idea of beauty and what is beautiful. It only then when I was introduced to this, I used to still consider myself not that beautiful, and I would skip standing with the people who are fair skinned because the comparison can instantly happen. So I used to avoid standing near my sister because I think she has always become a subject of comparison for me, and uh, uh, I would do all sorts of things. I can't even tell you that till today, even till today, this whole concern of beauty has become very difficult for me. And there was this instance. I had my school friends, and we were posing for Instagram selfies, and one of them had an iPhone, and all three of them are fair skinned except for me. And then he had this filter in the phone, and he said, Shivani, you don't worry, I'll put this filter to तू भी हमारी जैसी गोरी हो जाएगी, which means that even you will look fairer like us. And I think that hit me really hard, and it's difficult to come out of that. But I think, as Rashi said, and Rashi is still going to talk about, there's another question which is coming from Art Bubble, and how to overcome from this bad feeling that you do not look good just because of color. Yeah, Rashi, would you like to answer that?
Yeah, I would like to say that it's not just about color. People also compare a lot about your height. I mean, your overall human personality. Like you have dark skin tone, you are short or taller in height, you are fat, you are thin. And so I think so, first of all, you should avoid taking any negative criticism. And you should always think that whose thoughts or whose words matters to you. So
Right,
when you go out in public, people will say all sort of things just to maybe make you feel bad, because they know that this is one of the things that they can demean your value, your work, your strengths by making you feel bad.
right,
So this is one of the thing that the first thing is that you should avoid negative criticism. Then the second is that you should stop comparing. Stop comparing yourself with any other person on this planet. You are unique, you are authentic, and that is what makes each one of us. And I would also like to give some of the quick tips at the end of the session. So I think so, yeah. So that would be for everyone to just.
right. Rashi, I think we having a follow-up question by Lokesh, and even uh, yeah, Meena, hi Meena, she is also coming up with this statement. She's saying color does not matter. A lot of film star with dark skin tone are successful. And I think, yeah, she's highlighting again a very good point: success and color, success and body. And typically, whatever you do in your life and your experience, they really don't have that much of a value that we have given it to. And thank you for making this statement, Meena. Lokesh has come up with a follow-up question, and I think I would like to take that. And Lokesh is asking that did all of this led to self-harm or some sort of agitation?
Yeah, it can lead to some sort of self-harm, that if that situation persists for very long, a person definitely tends to go into a sort of depression where
Right,
no one else but then her or him can actually feel what the person is going through. So it's not visible. And
right,
yes, people do tend to do some kind of self-harm, or they are into that victimized situation in which even sometimes when the situation is worse, they have like people have also taken their life for this, because that
right.
feeling bad about yourself can be
Yeah.
heightened very much in different situations.
Yeah, I think you're right, Rachi. I mean, feeling bad in your own skin, uh, that's the utmost discomfort one can get. And
Yeah.
if you look at the mirror and you don't like what you see, I think that is the point from where self-hate starts coming in. And Lokesh, self-hate, I think, is the start of a person's journey towards self-harm. So there are a lot of, I would say, treatments which doctors come up with, and they are to have a laser technology for the fair skin tone, and then they'll have all sorts of cosmetics, and uh, people, they do take it, and they do go through the extents of having surgeries, medical replacement, and a lot of self harm starts within your brain, because you're constantly on the process of not liking yourself. And this further leads to agitation and anger. So Rashi, all these feelings of anger that you get when you are in that situation, uh, what is it that what is the one thing that led you to identify at the first place that you are going through something as challenging as this kind of discrimination?
So earlier, when I was going through all this, I used to have a lot of anger, and I have innumerous sleepless crying nights because I don't know what to do, what is happening with me. But with growing with age, when I moved out and I started actually self-reflecting within myself, that actually what is happening, I have to think why anyone's words is affecting me, why what people are saying, why I am taking their perceptions about me. So
Right,
then I moved towards the journey of self-reflection, uplifting my self-esteem, my self-confidence, and making myself comfortable and the best the way I am. So
right,
it's very important to identify that what thoughts are coming in your mind that are taking a form of action. So you have to monitor your thoughts and think about your thoughts, that what is affecting you, why it is affecting you, and
right,
who words is affecting you, and why
right,
are you letting it affect you.
right,
So
right.
yeah, that
So,
is the
as you,
point.
as you said, Rashi, earlier before we took the questions, you said that it is very important to kind of identify who is giving these comments to you. And
Yeah,
after you identify, it's very important to segregate that what is it that you want to really take and what is it that you don't want to take. Rashi, for you, who have you identified as these people? Who are these people from your life that you would really take their whatever they say, you would really consider that?
I think so. Like my mother was the most important support in my life. She's still the most important support in my life. She at a point of time, I know she was not even able to identify that what is happening with me, what is going wrong, why I'm so sad, why I cry so much. But with
Right,
time, I started opening up with her, that people say all sort of things about me. What does she feel about it? What my
right,
family feels about it? So my mother was a constant support. Also, I think so. You have to, like, with the course of time, you have to identify that who are the people who are actually there, who actually care for you, and who are the
right,
people who are just there for the sake of it, or who are just as a competition, treating you as a competition in life. So it's
right,
very
right,
important to make a bunch of friends and family who care for you. And it's very
right,
important to trust them. And I would
right,
say even for the people who are not, who are in the bunch of family and friends, they should be very mindful of when they're giving a suggestion or making an opinion, how they
right,
should make it. Like they should
right.
give it in a form of a positive feedback, not a criticism to a person.
Right. I think that's very important to all the people who are someone's friends, or I'm sure everyone's friends here, and who is a father or mother to someone or a sister or brother. I think what Rashi is saying here is one aspect of it is expressing and asking for help, but with that comes what is it that you give out to people who ask for help, and having a very positive tone to your criticism is very important. Instead of pointing out to someone's flaws, if you can really help someone to build from their flaws up, I think that is how taking help and then uh, growing from that help really starts. And there's one more question which is for you, Rashi, and Lokesh is asking, what stopped you from reaching out for help? Yeah. So before we take that question, Lokesh, I want to ask Rashi first that so you've taken help from your friends and your family members. Has it? Did you ever reach out for professional help? And if yes, then why such a delay? And if no, then Lokesh's question that why not?
Okay, so first of all, I never I never knew that there could be some kind of help in these situations. So first acknowledging the fact that okay, there could be someone who can help me with this situation is something that takes time. A kid never knows that, okay, you can reach out for help. And so you reach out to help only to people who appreciate you or who care for you at that moment. And many
Right.
times you are in a trap. Like they might take advantage of you and can even again like take it deep in that trap. So reaching out for help, I don't know that personally I have reached out to help, especially saying that this has happened to me or this is something that I'm going through or I'm facing. But yeah,
Right.
professional help definitely helps, and I think the conversations helps a lot, Shivani. This is something, no, I'm really very serious about this. Like conversation with my mother, with my very close friends help. They motivated me. They have uplifted my esteem and confidence. And for the professional help, I might say there was a big milestone that has helped me a lot in overcoming all these things. So there was a session last year in Zainabad, which is a human process lab, and where a group of people come together and talk about their experiences, their journey. And I think so it's a process where you increase your awareness and you reflect within yourselves. And that helps a lot for a person. Like that has helped me a lot to
Right.
overcome this situation and uplifting my esteem. So
Right.
I would also write it in the comment the
Yeah,
kind of
that,
professional help. Yeah. So it's a
yeah.
website known as Sumedhas.
I think that's a very useful resource. Anyone who wants some kind of help, and Rashi's putting a website on the comments. You guys can check it out, and you guys can reach out on that particular website. So, going further, Rashi, we have another question which is coming from Karan, and Karan is asking you that how can we overcome from such types of shitty comments, because I'm also black and people used to tease me.
Okay, so Karan, I would say that first of all, you have to accept yourself the way you
Yeah,
are. You are beautiful, you are best, you are awesome, and stop comparing. When there is no
right.
comparison, then there is no idea of good and bad.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
yeah. So the existence is like everything is equal. When there is comparison, then only you can say, okay, this is good in comparison of this is bad.
Yeah,
So you should stop comparing yourself and you should just adore yourself as much as you can. Just be comfortable and you are unique, man. Just accept the way you are. And
ex-
this is what God has made you. There is no conception of people being fair as good or people being black as bad. It is all societal construct. So
right.
you have to break that construct and you just have to you just have to care and love yourself. That's all.
Okay, okay, okay. I hope, Karan, you've got your answer. If there are any follow-up questions or any questions that anyone else has, please put it on the comment section. Also, if not questions, you guys have any resonating feelings that you want to share with Rashi and me, so that even we can feel that we are not alone and there are a lot of people who are struggling with the same difficulties. Guys, please put it in the comment section. There's another question, Rashi, which has come up, and it asks that should one have self acceptance, or even self criticism is important to push you further?
Okay, so even self acceptance is important, and even your inner critique is important. But over criticizing yourself is not one which one has to do. Like, okay, some things sometimes when people say about yourself, you sit and reflect with your inner critique that, okay, am I doing this right? Is this good or is this bad? But
Right,
overthinking that criticism can take you down and can also lead to, again, low self esteem because you're only thinking about that self. You're
right,
not thinking how to improve the situation, but you are just thinking on how what that person has said and how it is affecting you. So overdoing anything or over thinking about anything may harm you. So I think so you should stop listening to your inner critique a lot and take that into a positive criticism or positive upfront. Yeah.
right. Yeah, I think Identifying the threshold is very important, guys. I mean, there's a very thin line which lies between self reflection and then going to self doubt and self hate. So with reflection there are always these feelings where you kind of ask yourself, okay, I'm wrong here, or okay, I did this wrong, or okay, I am not good. And that is good. To say, to accept that you're not good is a good thing. And you have to then decide that do you want to take a step in making that good better, or are you okay with that being not good? And if that is a part of your personality, then it's completely okay to be not so good in that particular aspect. So you need to choose, and you need to prioritize what are the aspects that you really want to change and move forward, and what are the aspects that you want to keep to yourself and that makes you unique. Yeah. I
Rania,
think there are a lot of questions coming, and I'm going to take every question one by one. So, there's one question by Bison underscore 007. And the question is, as I am an all-rounder, I get so many compliments for my work, but what I want in my life, I am unable to achieve on time. How to balance my work? Okay. Quite a big question. And Rashi, I hope you'll be able to answer Bison's question of how to balance work and his life, and especially when someone like him who is an all-rounder. So, do you have anything to say for that?
yeah, I would like to say that even becoming over ambitious in your life and trying to do a lot of things at a point of time makes you lose focus. So
Right,
so what happens is when you are writing something or reading something, your brain is still functioning. Okay, I have to do this also. I have to do this next. I have to do this next. And because of that, you are spending more time on your thinking about what all you have to do, rather than focusing on what you are doing at the moment. So I think
right,
practicing meditation and practicing self-reflection will help you a lot. You should think,
right,
and for that, the first foremost step is if you are getting up in the morning, make a chart, write down all the things that you want to do. And even if you're over ambitious and you're listing down 20 things that you want to do in a day, and if you're able to do five, that's enough.
right,
That's enough.
right,
Take that 15 again next day. From those 15, pick up five, and I think so there would be more add on 10 things. Again, make a list, and then just try to think that how to multitask, club everything. But also between all this, don't forget to take care of yourself. Don't forget, don't forget to love yourself. Don't forget to take out some time to relax. So I would say that practicing meditation would actually help you to find your purpose at what exactly is that you want to do in your life, and it
right.
will also give you the answer that what makes you happy.
Right, right. And adding on to Rashi, I would say that not even just work and life, I think anything that you want to balance in your life, your relationship and your work, your relationship and your family, I think the first step is prioritizing that what becomes more important for you. Now, in case of work, I think prioritizing comes with a lot of things. So, priority comes with time, and priority also comes with the quality of it. So there are always these parameters of time, quality, priority considering each other. So if you have something that you have to urgently do, then you have to look how much time do you have, and what is the quality, expected quality that you want to deliver of that outcome. And if something which demands a lot of quality, then I think you need to give equal amount of time. But if you have less time, then I think you shouldn't be overambitious, Rashi said, and you should give justice to the work within the given frame of time. Yes, Aditya has come up with a very good statement, and he is saying, I think it's very good for everyone to hear that. So I'm speaking it out loud. He's saying that self acceptance sometimes can be difficult when you are going through a low self esteem. but we all have a unique personality and skill. Focus on that, and that shadows all the negativity. Yeah, thank you, Aditya. I think this is what Rashi has gone through, which is low self esteem for majority part of her life. And Rashi, would you like to talk about this particular aspect of how did you do it? So
Yeah.
with having a low self esteem, how did you process self reflection and then going from that to self acceptance, and finally today being loving yourself so much? What was the journey like?
So first of all, I would like to point out that how do you identify that you have low self-esteem? That's the
Right.
foremost point, that one person doesn't know how to identify. So a person who is having low self-esteem, there are some of the points, or some of the, what I should say, some of the activities that you do may actually let you know that you're going through low self-esteem, like seeking validation in every small thing that you are doing.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's an important topic that
Yeah.
you.
So when you seek validation in even the smallest thing that you are doing, that is a reflection, that is a point that gives you the knowledge that you're not having a very high self-esteem, and also you are not able to trust yourself with something.
Right.
So that's the point when you are having low self-esteem. Then secondly, also I would like to say a very high self-esteem is also not good. That makes you narcissist, and that is that you start devaluing other people around you. So there has
Exactly.
to be a balance. So when I identified that I'm going through low self-esteem, I accepted myself the way I am. I did it with the process of meditation and self-reflection, monitoring my thoughts, that what others are saying, why it is affecting me, when the other
So,
people are even my friends or family.
what was this process of self reflection like? Was it like sitting with a question with yourself? Was it like how because self reflection has a lot of forms and people
Okay.
do it in various ways. So what was it that you kind of started as a self reflection habit?
Yeah, so I'll tell you how did I started. So I used to write whatever I'm feeling,
Right.
and that is like all the negativity that I have, I used to write it down. I used to write for maybe 2 to 3 pages, and then when everything is out of my heart, everything, all the negative aspect, then I used to reread it again. I used to read it. Okay, this is what I am feeling. Why am I feeling this? And then I
Right.
used to sit quietly and observe my thoughts. Observe my thoughts on, like, if a random person who is my colleague is has just made a statement or comment on me, why it has affected me. That
Right.
person is not at all related to me in any way. He's just a colleague. So
Yeah.
that then helps you to segregate that whose comment, whose suggestion, whose opinion is valuable for you, and whose comment, suggestion is not valuable for you.
And
So
Rashi, what one? So if I have identified a person whose comments are valuable to me, like I told you one. So I told a story of my friends who are very important to me. How my color and their color difference always played a major role while we took pictures and selfies.
yeah.
Know that I am connected to someone. I really their comments really matter to me, and then when they come out with such negative comments, then in that situation, what is it that one should do?
One should just, so what I used to do is I used to just say that, okay, this is the way I am. Why it is bothering you, man? It doesn't bothers me. Why it is
Right.
bothering? I used to say to my extended family members, this is the way I have been since my childhood. This is the way I look. This is the way I am, and I feel very comfortable and I love myself. So I
Right.
think so. Whatever you are saying doesn't matter to me, and I think so. It should not even bother you. Why are you
Right.
just why are you just looking at that aspect of my personality? Why can't you look at my positivity? Why can't you look at my strengths? Why can't
Right.
you, yeah, so why can't you point out any positive things? So
Right.
that is
Right.
how,
And that brings to one of the questions, I think, which is very apt on what you've just said right now. Ishan Tiwari, he is saying that, ma'am, Why is that people tend to prefer fair looking person over a person who is not so fair? Also, don't you think that changing people's mindset is more important than self acceptance?
Okay, so Ishan, I would like to answer this question that this is a societal construct that is there since centuries. And I was going through an Instagram post yesterday, posted by one of my juniors, and she posted a textbook in which I think so it was a KG1 or first class textbook that had two female figures. One was a girl with a fair complexion, good features, like good features as in sharp features and all sort of makeup put on it, and it was written beautiful there. And the other female figure which was there was a lady from wearing sari. She was putting all kind of jewelry like nose ring and earrings, and she was in dark complexion, and it was written there ugly. So
Oh,
this struggle starts since a child is in first standard or KG2. The concept of beauty and ugliness is taught to you in this manner. So I think so, yeah, it is very important to educate people about what is ugly and beautiful, but it is so deeply rooted within yourself that it's not very easy to do it, but it's not impossible also. Also,
right.
I think I should say one thing that if a person, a dark complexion person or a person who is having dusky complexion, is unable to accept herself, herself or himself, how will she go forward towards that change to bring change in people's mindset? When a
Right.
person is feeling that okay, dark complexion is ugly and fair complexion is beautiful, when you don't only acknowledge that something is wrong here,
Right.
how would you go to educate people about
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I think
So
that reminds me of what Mahatma Gandhi said, and he said that be the change you wish to see in people. And
yeah,
Ishan, what you're saying, changing people's mindset is very important, and that is why we are having this conversation as well. Because the larger aim is to normalize conversations around mental health and self-esteem, and these discriminations and body shaming is one of the major parts of mental health. So, changing the mindset is very important, and one must do it. But as Rashi said, if you don't accept yourself, I think if Rashi wouldn't have accepted herself, it would have been nearly impossible for her to come on the platform and number one, talk about it, tell about her journey, and love herself even on a platform where she is trying to be so vulnerable with you people. So, yeah, and okay, so there are few people who have recently joined. I welcome all of you who have just joined right now. We are talking with Rashi today, and Rashi is an architect and an Anand fellow, and she's talking about how self-esteem and color discrimination has really affected her life, how she overcame, and today she's here speaking with us. And yeah, so okay, Rohan is telling us to make an IGTV video of this live. Sure, Rohan, you will see this video on our page soon. Right. And I'll just look for guys. If you have any other questions that you want to ask Rashi or me, then please put it in the comment section. So I think it was a very good time to talk to you, Rashi, today, and I'm very happy that people have come up with so many questions, which largely encompassed almost every aspect of what one can feel during low self-esteem or with these kinds of judgments and discrimination around. Uh, Rashi has also today pointed out a lot of ways to deal with it. And she has in the comment section also put up a link from where she seeked professional help. So, any one of you who are feeling or resonating with Rashi's feelings can just look it out, or also you can reach out to our platform. You can DM us, you can comment on any of our posts, and we'll be the quickest in responding to you people. Uh, yeah. So thank you all for joining, and I would give this Okay, wait, there is one more question, and the question is, what first step can be taken in order to improve our self-esteem? Okay,
Okay. So I would like to sum up with this question,
yeah,
and I would like to make all the points that is important for one person to go in this journey to go forward. So the first point I should say is that you have to stop listening to your inner critique in a negative manner. You have to stop
right,
listening to it. So, which is again taking you to victimization. So just stop listening to that inner critique and just change the pattern, change the form in which you listen to your thoughts. If a person is if
right,
a person is saying that okay, you are not good into this and you should stop doing it. So rather than just taking and pondering on that thought, just sit and analyze that why that person has said. The first thing is why the person is making such kind of a comment. Is there something that
right,
the person wants you to react on, or is that person trying to lower your confidence? So the first thing is that. Secondly is that you should take a D route, like just think on that, okay, what can I do to make the situation better? Is
right,
there a need for me to act on it? Is there a need to do something on it? Or just what the person has said doesn't even make any account?
right,
So the first is to stop listening to your inner critique, and second and the foremost important thing in everybody's life is to start practicing self-compassion. And it is not a
okay,
one time thing that you are doing just for a day or for a month. It is something that you have to do for your entire life. That is
right,
just start practicing self compassion. Be kind, caring to yourself, and make yourself a priority. Learn to
right,
say no. Learn to say no. Learn to avoid situations where people make you feel uncomfortable. So that's the
right,
second thing that you should do. And the third step is that stop comparing yourself with anyone around you and build
right,
your own values and beliefs. Don't
right. I
go on,
think that's very important.
yeah, don't go on what has been taught to you. Don't go on what the society thinks about you. Don't go
Right,
on what your
right.
parents even think about you or wants you to do.
Yeah, I
Build
think
it, yeah.
what Rashi is saying here, we have been brought up with certain set of values, and these values come from the past experiences of your family members, of your religious values, of the society, and the context in which you are brought up. And these are not the values that you should stick to. One in a period of one's life, one has to sit and think about what their own values are, what is their vision of their own life, what are their perspectives, and to build upon, I think that is what gives a very unique value to your own personality, and that gives a stand in your life. And I think Rashi has summed it up very well for all of us today.
Hmm.
um,
And at the last, I just want to say again one more point that when you are going, when even if you are going through this suffering or this phase of your life where you have low self-esteem, low self-confidence, insecurity, self-doubt, acknowledge and notice your negative thoughts that are coming. That's the first thing, even to acknowledge that you are in that phase of low self-esteem. Be
right,
kind, caring, and forgiving to yourself. Forgive
right,
yourself. Even if you have done something wrong, try to forgive yourself and embrace that imperfection because nothing is perfect. There is no perception of perfectionism in this world. Everything is perfect and everything is imperfect. So,
right, right, right. Much, Rashi. I think it's, Rashi today has taken a very brave step, and she has made something which was very much invisible in herself come out visible in front of you people. She's taken this brave step to talk about something which was so personal to her. She has taken this brave step to express and have a conversation. So I think I would like to take up this moment to tell every one of you that it's okay to talk, it's okay to seek help, it's okay to reach out, and it's okay to be vulnerable in front of someone, but as Rashi said, you also need to be mindful of who that someone is, and keep talking, keep having conversation, and also the last message is that you might be having a lot of people around you, your sister, your brother, your friends, your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend. A lot of people are struggling with these things.
Yeah.
Please identify them. If you do identify, please acknowledge, please talk to them, and make this matter concern a priority in your life and in their life. And even don't just walk around with ignorance.
Yeah.
That's the last message. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I would like to thank Shivani and everyone out there to just let me come with this invisible feelings of mine. And
right,
today I have made them visible, but yeah, those feelings are a past now. I have like walked a lot after that, and today I don't feel that there is anything that is pertaining to that. But yeah, now I have good self-esteem, good confidence, and I don't have any doubt on whatever I do. But still, I would say it's not something that cannot come again. So one
right.
has to be
But
practicing all the things. Yeah, persistency should be there. Thank
right.
you so much. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, guys. Ending, I want to thank the entire team of making the invisible visible. Uh, Thank you for helping us create all the content, all the amazing content that you see. That is the work of our team. Thank you, Vedi, and thank you all the other people who put in a lot of efforts for these kinds of sessions to come into action. Thank you all the students here. And please do go on our page and DM us and talk to us. And if you want to have a conversation like that on this platform, want to share something which you think is very important or would help anyone else, please do that and reach out. Stay
Yeah, thank you.
happy and take
Thank you
care of
so
your
much.
well being.
Yeah. Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye,
See you.
guys.